Hi, my name is Robert. This video is designed to give you step-by-step detailed instructions on completing the task at hand. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. Started off today here in the Chicago area. Picked up the cam seal that somehow got destroyed when we put it in. So we're getting ready to drop a cam seal in this lovely S70 1998 model. First thing I'm going to do is get on the ground, roll the skirt back, and set the timing. I have the timing set, and this intake cam seal is the offending part. I'm not going to take a lot of this stuff off. So the first thing I'm going to do is break these bolts loose from this sprocket. I'm going to remove the tensioner. I'm going to remove the covers, put a zip tie on that rear cam. Then I'm going to slide the belt off the front cam, remove the sprocket, remove the seal, put the seal back in, and then I'm going to put the belt back on it, snug it down. I already got my marks on the inside of the sprocket there. Put that on the mark, snug them down, snug the belt up with the tensioner after it's compressed, and then put everything back together. Since we're going to be replacing the cam seals, we marked the cam and the sprockets, put a little scratch on those, and I marked around the screw because the screw holes in these cam sprockets are slotted, and you don't want your timing to be off a degree or 2 or 3 or 4 just because you didn't mark that stuff properly. So step number 1 is going to be knock the bolts loose from the cam sprocket. Step number 2 is going to be remove the covers. Step number 3 is going to be zip tie the belt on the exhaust sprocket. Step number 4 is going to be remove the tensioner. Step number 5 is going to be slide the sprocket off. This is a hydraulic tensioner, and what you need to do is compress it. Make sure it doesn't leak any fluid. If it leaks the oils that are inside of it, it's possibly on its way to failure. Other than that, it can be reused. I often reuse them until I see any leakage coming out of them. So what you do is you open up your clamp, you put it in the clamp, and you slowly compress it. Mechanics have a tool that they load these in, and it compresses it over a 5-minute time frame. This clamp I put in there, I turn a half a turn at a time until it's compressed. I make sure I don't do it any faster than a half a turn every minute. On my C-clamp, since I do this a lot, I grinded a little nipple in there for the tip of that, and then I seat the back of it on the back here. So I put that in place. Now I start to crank it in. So let me set the camera down and turn this into half a crank. I have it in place, ready to start. My lever is up. I want to turn this lever so that it actually points down. That's going to be a half a turn. So that's my first half a turn. I'm going to wait a minute before I do a half a turn again, and I'm going to make sure my tensioner stays seated in the ball of my clamp. If it starts sliding out the ball of my clamp, I'm going to get a box end wrench or something and tap it to recenter it, because I don't want it falling out of the clamp. Next, I pulled the belt loose from here, and I'm going to kind of move it out of the way. You don't want to crimp your belt, but as you can see, it's well out of the way. Now I'm going to remove these bolts and slide the sprocket off, and then work on getting that seal removed with my sheetrock screw. Now it's off. Let me work on getting that seal out, try to determine why it leaked so it didn't go through that again. Since that seal is not falling out and easy to get out, if you don't have a seal remover that's made for that, What I normally do is take one of these sheetrock screws, I tap it onto the edge of the seal to puncture a hole in it. I screw it in a thread or two, and then I pull the seal out with the screw with a pair of pliers or something that'll help me pull that seal out of there. I now have the screw into the seal, and I'm gonna get some pliers or something and pull it out. Whatever method you decide to use, try to make sure that you don't scratch your cam or your head getting that out of there, because you don't want to create an area that's going to leak after you get done putting in your new seal. Now I'm ready to pull it out, so I put needle nose pliers or something on there and pull that seal out like that. Now I'm ready to size up and put the replacement one in. This looks like an OEM Volvo seal here. It shows you how far that screw was in that seal. I got the seal out and the spring is not attached. The spring is still in there. I scratched the cam a little bit. Hopefully that won't matter. But let me dig that spring out of there and set the new seal in there once I oil it up. I have the seal started, oiled up. This spring had come off of the old seal, wherever I put that at. So I'm going to use the old seal as a guide to tap in the new seal. Here it is on the ground. Okay, let me tap the new seal in place. Using the old seal as a guide, I got it tapped in about halfway. The old seal, when I pull it away, you can see the new seal was recessed a nice little even bit around, probably around 1/8 of an inch, almost 1/4 inch. That should be good. Like I said, I got a minor scratch right there. Hopefully that didn't cause me any problems. I think the main problem with this seal was that the spring came off of it. So let me go ahead and put the cam back on there, the sprocket, snug it down, put the belt on it, tighten it down, and then put the tensioner back on the belt. Make sure the timing's right. While you're cranking it in, whenever you get about that close where you got 1/4 inch, you might be a good idea to line your pinhole up with your tensioner so that when you get all the way compressed, you can just stick the pin in the hole. I couldn't get the timing belt back on the intake cam with it on the exhaust cam. I just didn't have the slack, so I bumped it off the exhaust cam and I put it on the intake cam. Then I checked my timing, and right now I'm a tooth off. My exhaust cam is 1 tooth counterclockwise, so I'm gonna turn it by hand 1 tooth clockwise and set the belt. My timing marks are right. I'm gonna double check my crank mark and go ahead and put the tensioner back in once it's all the way compressed and set. Alright, it's pretty much all the way compressed. I turned the last crank, I slid the pin in, hand grenade pins in. Now I can release the clamp and make sure that it's not leaking fluid inside the shaft. So let me take the clamp loose and inspect it. Alright, it's out. You look in there and there's not a bunch of, or not any liquid in there. If you got maybe a little bit of moisture, that might be okay, but if you can tilt it horizontal and any of that liquid tries to run, don't try to reuse it. It's destroyed. So there it is, ready to install. Hand grenade pins removed, timing set, rolled it around a couple times, it's still set. I'm going to put in the spacer, then I'm going to fire it up, see if it leaks. I snugged those screws down, forgot to torque them down. Hopefully that didn't move the timing, but I'm going to shut it down, double check the position of that when I look for the leak. Can't tell if it's leaking right now. Doesn't look like it. The lighting is different here. than it was last night looking in there. Fortunate for me, it doesn't look like the screws moved at all on the cam, so the cam alignment is still right. I'm going to start it up again, let it run 5-10 minutes while I put everything back together, and I should be done. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.